Oh, Brad, stop it or I'll...
Oh, you what?
Guys, let me say this again. We are in a hospital.
So?
So, have some consideration for Cameron.
Oh, he's okay. Aren't you, Cam, mate?
You wouldn't be if I could move.
See, he's perfectly fine. If he wasn't fine, he would have said something.
I did. You just can't hear me.
See?
Hell, this is frustrating.
He's having a great time.
Brad, take that fruit off Cam's face.
He's done what?
Yeah, careful, Brad. Keep it up and he might just do his nana.
Good one.
Oh, you guys are wankers.
Come on, guys, show some maturity. And you wonder why Cam's lead designer.
Not at the moment, is he? Nope. By day, he's mild-mannered designer. I put a bandage on his head and he becomes Coomer Boy!
Bradley.
Oh, you're in trouble now, Bradley.
I think I'll choose to ignore that.
Seriously, guys, does raise a good point. With Cam out of action, someone needs to step up. Who's going to spearhead that major presentation we have next week?
Well, I'd say you should, Kane. Other than Cameron, out of all of us, you've been at the company the longest.
What are you talking about? I'm more suited to retail than Kane. Oh, besides, he's more suited to manufacturing.
Oh, it's not that different. I'd cope fine.
Seriously,
Besides,
guys, I've been working the closest with Cam on this one. I really think I'd be best.
What are you talking about? I've seen your power.
I can't believe I work with these arrogant, pretentious pricks. I don't even know why they came to see me. Sense of duty, maybe. Man, here I am, all busted up, and they're more concerned with who's best suited as my replacement. Oh, what are you guys doing now? Just leave me alone.
Come on, you talking
anyway,
about?
guys, it's not up to us to decide who takes over from Cam.
Guys, what's she doing here?
I reckon. Hey, maybe she's got a thing for her boss.
You mean Cam?
Who else? I mean, why else would she be here? He doesn't talk to her at work. She's only tech support. Maybe she's trying to take advantage of his condition.
Man, your head is twisted.
Hey, help desk. I'm still having trouble with my email. I'll expect you to be back in the office by the end of lunch to have that fixed.
Help desk? What's he talking about?
Sure, I'll try.
Roz? Rosalind?
Anyway, guys, we better head back. You might only have free cell to play all day. I've got work to do. See you, Cam. Hope you're back on your feet real soon. I don't want to be the only one that has to deal with these cronies.
It's obvious now they're worse than that.
See you, bud. Hope you get better soon.
Yeah, see you, Cameron.
See ya, Comer boy. Unless you have some time with your geeky girlfriend.
Just get out of here, Brad.
No, seriously, buddy. I do hope you get better, but take all the time you need. I'll be taking good care of things at the office while you're away.
Yeah, I bet you will.
I don't play computer games all day, do I?
It's all of that on Messenger. We're still YouTube.
Hey, that reminds me. Have you guys seen the video of...
Gee, those guys are even harsh to you. I thought it was just me.
Rosalind?
Hello, Cameron. It's Roz here.
It is you. What are you doing here? Why come and see me?
I thought I would just pop in and see how you're doing. I know
Why?
you don't really talk to me at work, but I did kind of get to wondering where you'd been all week. Nobody told me anything about your accident. Eventually, I overheard those four talking about coming to see you today. So I asked around and found out what happened to you. Anyway, I thought I'd take a bit of my lunch break to pop in and say hello.
But why? I mean, I've never gone out of my way for you. I mean, I'm always rude to you whenever I've had computer trouble.
Oh, you'll be pleased. Since you haven't been at work, I've been able to log some time on your computer. And I found out how that virus keeps coming back. You know the one you always complain about? Anyway, you shouldn't be bothered by that again.
Roz, you're a surprise.
Oh, I've got this. It's not much. It's just a card.
Why would you do these things with the attitude I give you?
I'll read you the message. Dear Cameron, I just wanted to let you know of my best wishes and that I will keep you in my prayers for a speedy recovery. I was going to sign it Love Roz, but I thought that somebody might get the wrong idea. But hey, seems like your colleagues have already jumped to that conclusion. Anyhow, I've just signed it Roz from IT support.
Roz,
Anyway, I better get going. Brad's email won't fix itself. I do hope you get better quick, Cameron. I kind of miss your rantings down the phone at me whenever you have a computer problem.
Roz, I'm sorry.
See ya.
Look, I'm sorry for the way I treat you. I'm sorry for the things I say. Look, I'll tell everyone to stop, Roz. I'll make it better. Roz! Roz! Roz. Why?
You don't see that often enough. The head of surgery laughing it up with the hospital cleaner. So good of him to stop and chat with people. You know, he really makes people feel like they're a valuable part of the place. Being important and busy, what with all those toilets to clean. What? Oh, you thought the busy and important one was the head of surgery. Sure he is. But have you seen how many toilets we have in this hospital? See how well you're doing when the hospital cleaner hasn't been to your bathroom in a few days. The important people. Let's face it, if you're at a party, you'd probably prefer to say that you were the doctor than the hospital cleaner. Fact, some jobs rank higher. And let's face it, we'd all prefer it if we had the job that ranked better than the others. Jesus' followers thought the same way. They thought they were important and deserving of some decent discipleship honours. After all, they'd chosen to follow Jesus. One day, two of Jesus' followers, James and John, came up to Jesus with perhaps the most loaded question you could ever ask anybody. They said, "Teacher, will you do us a favour?" If someone ever asks you that question, run away. Because they're probably going to ask you if you can loan your false teeth to a mate for a photo shoot, or something equally as outrageous. Well, foolishly, Jesus didn't run away, but the question was outrageous. They said, "When you come into your glory, please let one of us sit at your right and the other at your left." James and John thought Jesus had designs on becoming God's promised king, and so they asked him for the second in command positions, to sit on his right and left. At least they said, please. Needless to say, the 10 disciples weren't amused. Ropeable's probably a better way of putting it, although it is debatable whether they're more annoyed at James and John's arrogance or the fact that they had neglected to slip the question in first themselves. Jesus was absolutely on the money when he replied, "You have no idea what it is you're asking." They had no idea. No doubt they thought that Jesus becoming king would be this amazing ascension up the social order. Mighty armies, big palaces, fawning subjects, massive plasma TVs. Alright, maybe not the TVs, but you get the idea. From carpenter to king, and his followers wouldn't be far behind. Fisherman to famous. Sounds good, doesn't it? Imagine dropping at a party that you were second in command to the king. They had no idea. Let me read to you what Jesus said to his followers when he gathered them together. "You know that those foreigners who call themselves kings like to order their people around, and their great leaders have full power over the people they rule. But don't act like them. If you want to be great, you must be the servant of all the others. And if you want to be first, you must be everyone's slave." Sometimes Jesus referred to himself as the Son of Man. He continued, "The Son of Man did not come to be a slave master, but a slave who will give his life to rescue many people." Jesus wasn't riding the glory train to big palaces or fawning subjects. His journey was going to be far more brutal, far more costly, far more humble than that. Slavery and service. He didn't have designs on being the kind of king that James, John, and the other followers wanted. Jesus planned on becoming a slave who gave his life to rescue many people. Kind of a slave king rescuer, with not much of a fairy tale ride to the top. His 12 disciples really should have known what was going to happen. Earlier, Jesus had taken them aside and told them what was going to happen to him. He said, "We are now on our way to Jerusalem, where the Son of Man will be handed over to chief priests and the teachers of the law of Moses. They will sentence him to death and hand him over to foreigners, who will make fun of him and spit on him. They will beat him and kill him. But 3 days later, he will rise to life." They really had no idea what he was talking about. I wonder if you do. Do you get Jesus when he says, if you want to be great, you must be the servant of everyone else? If you want to be the first, you must be everyone's slave. And I wonder at the next party whether you would prefer to be the doctor or the cleaner. Could you make a list of the 10 greatest servants in our world or history? Who'd be on your list? And as you think about them, do you think that they are great people? Would you want to be like them? I'm certain that these great people remind us that people matter, especially if they treated people, well, like people, not just a job to be done. Then they are true servants, as they put the interests of another person before their own. In a world that keeps selfishly taking, these people are amazing. They're like lights in the darkness. The world is a better place because of them. And our problem is that the world just doesn't have enough real servants. You know, Jesus' followers were basically good people. They followed Jesus because they wanted to be a part of making a difference in the world. They wanted to serve the world. They just thought that one day they'd be done serving, and then they could get on with the fun stuff, the glory. And we can be the same. You know, we do our service stuff for a while, and once we feel we've done enough, we go back to our normal lives. You know, looking out for ourselves first. Full respect to those people who serve others with their whole lives, not just when it suits them. That's why Jesus gets my respect. He served people with his whole life, right to the end. You know, whatever you think about Jesus, he knew that his life and death would be God's way of rescuing the whole world. He could have had it easy, taken that glory train, but instead, Jesus came to serve people like you and me by giving up his life. He didn't stop when it got too hard. He kept on going. You see, Jesus shows us the difference between a person who serves and a true servant. And the most surprising thing is that Jesus shows us that this is what God is like. You know, not the one who uses power to control and crush, but uses power to serve, to suffer, to rescue. That's a true servant, and that's true greatness.